Hello everyone! In this video we will talk about one more very important basic Vastu concept that is called Vastu Purusha mandala. It is one of the major concepts because based on it, ancient architects planned houses, palaces and temples. It was their way, their template to understand in which direction everything is supposed to be located. Like any sort of mandala, Vastu Purusha mandala represents a structured sort of space that is represented in a picture. And Vastu Purusha himself, he used to be, according to the legend, a spirit of earth that was pretty chaotic when he was created by Brahma, one of the gods. And he was so chaotic that other gods were afraid that he's going to destroy all the universe and turn it into chaos, and therefore all the gods had to push him to the ground by sitting on him. And that's how we got the mandala in the way it is now, where we can see Vastu Purusha himself. He is lying on his stomach with his arms and hands in a pranama position, in a namaste way. And he's facing the ground actually, and when all the gods pressed him like that to earth, he became enlightened and he wanted to serve Brahma. And all the other gods, they remain there. They have to continue still pushing him to the ground, and therefore each of them got place on the body of Vastu Purusha. And all those so-called gods are a way to represent this or that force of nature. And God is not actually the best way to translate the word deva that is used in Sanskrit, because deva comes from the root that means light. So they're kind of beings of light. In a sense, let's say that they're closer probably to the idea that Christians have about angels. Therefore, it's not that in this tradition there are many gods. It's more about the tradition having some hierarchy of beings more spiritual than humans. And so, in the old days, in Satya, Treta and Dvapara yugas, all the houses are said to be constructed according to Vastu, and therefore it was easier for men to live. But in Kali Yuga, and we nowadays live in this epoch of Kali Yuga, people started to construct houses in a way that are not at all in line with nature, and therefore Vastu Purusha is going to suffer inside of those houses. In this slide that you are looking at now, you can see how difficult it is for him to fit in his body in a house of flat that has irregular form. This picture I took from a book of one of my most important teachers, Sergei Alexandrovich Baluta. He is from Russia and he's been an architect for decades. He's a pretty mature, advanced in years person, and he has studied not only Vastu but also Feng Shui, Old Russian tradition and Egyptian tradition, and therefore we can pretty much rely on those images that are represented in his book. And so here you can see again how uncomfortably Vastu Purusha is lying on those, inside of those spaces which are irregular. And if we return to the legend, we will remember that Vastu Purusha also asked Brahma, his creator, the god, what he's going to eat. And Brahma replied that in golden, silver, and bronze age, people are going to make sacrifices to gods, and therefore Vastu Purusha will also have something to eat. But in Kali Yuga, when people are no longer understanding what is happening and they don't pay attention to nature and to the divine anymore, Brahma said that Vastu Purusha will have a right to eat people themselves. And this legend is a way to tell us that if we don't try to make our houses in line with the laws of nature, then these houses are going to take energy from us instead of giving this energy to us. For example, in those two pictures that you are seeing now, you can see that in one of them the head of Vastu Purusha is kind of smashed, and therefore people who are living inside such a space might have issues with their head, meaning either headaches, or it would be more of a psychological type of thing when people are not in line with their purpose, they don't understand themselves really well, they are more anxious, less optimistic, and so on and so forth. At the same time, in those segments where you can see that some parts of the body of Vastu Purusha are much bigger than they are supposed to be, then we will see that there is imbalance both in those areas of body. There might be the imbalance, but it's also about those areas of life that those sectors in Vastu Purusha's body represent. How you can apply this theory to your own needs? Well, please, first of all, make your own Vastu Purusha map. Why I'm calling this map? Because, of course, as we have already understood, mandala is a very balanced graphical structure, and there's all sort of symmetry involved in it. But in our irregular type of houses, there is almost never this symmetry really involved, and therefore I can't call the tool that you might use to examine your own house, I can't call it mandala, but you can call it map. And therefore it will also give you a chance to get some of the important ideas from Vastu and apply it to yourself. And you will also have a chance to more or less understand where this or that part of the body of Vastu Purusha are not feeling quite well, and also related to your own life. I will please try to encourage you to not take this whole story about Vastu Purusha too literally. Just try to kind of sense it as a mythological way of describing life, which sometimes work much better than some ways that mathematics or physics might use, especially in case you're not very keen on maths and physics. And just please try to take the essence of it, meaning that symmetrical forms have a much better impact on you, and that in case you are not living in a house that is symmetrical and that is in line with the cardinal directions, then it would be much better for you to try to experiment with Vastu to learn how to create better, more peaceful, more comfortable space which will give you energy instead of getting it from you. So, in a sense, you might learn how to please your own Vastu Purusha so that you both work together as a team. And if you do it, it means that you'll create this sort of space that not only fosters your physical comfort, but also gives you better opportunity for advancement in your career, better relationship with your close people, financial success, and also spiritual development. So I really hope that these ideas would inspire you to continue studying. And in case you like the way I represent this ancient system of Vastu, please think about taking some of the courses where I explain much better how to correct those parts of your house that are not very much in line with natural laws, so that you get a more balanced and harmonized place. And first of all, please take a look at a free video that I made on how you can make a Vastu map of your house step by step. And after that, analyze it. At least you can have a look at it from the perspective of Vastu Purusha and from the perspective of elements. You already know some basics about that. And then you might also want to dig deeper and study some other videos and other materials that me and other teachers are ready to share with you. So thank you for dedicating your time to the video, and I hope your journey with Vastu is going to be really fruitful and exciting for you. Have a beautiful day, and may Vastu Purusha of your house give you all the possible energy and blessings.